Welcome everyone to the second Explore community conversation of My Inner Lighthouse's new Patreon community. We want to thank Kim, Judy, and Kathleen for being a part of our Patreon Explorer community, and special welcome to Paula. You're all with us today, so we're super excited about that. And along with Sally and the MIL team members, Jackie Huck and myself, Suzanne Lentz. And today, Jackie will begin leading you in a guided meditation to start.
Sally will lead us in a meditation.
Sally will.
Sally will.
What did I say?
But go women power. Let me just say, woohoo. And before we go in, I just want to mention something. The first session last month was based on narrative. We're starting in the center of the My Inner Lighthouse compass, and it was based on the reflection question: what was the story you were born into? This month, we're going to look at wisdom, and the focus here is what is wisdom. So last month was Gandhi. This month is Da Vinci. So that's where we orient and start. So I'm going to ask you to just relax and close your eyes and get comfortable and take a deep cleansing breath. And how you do that is breathing in through the nose, holding a beat, and then breathing out through the mouth. And if you need to sigh, this is a good time to sigh. Oh. And I'd like you to imagine that your spirit, your body, your mind, everything is integrating as one. And imagine that your energy is grounding down through the bottom of your feet. You have spiritual roots that are growing out from the center of your feet, going into your carpet or floors, through your foundation, and into the beautiful earth below where you are. Good, good. And as you're grounding into beautiful Mother Earth, imagine that your arms are reaching out and branches and leaves are facing the Mother Sun, just taking in that wonderful spirit. And I'd like you to recite to yourself after me: my heart holds the keys to my desires, my truth, and my connection. And now I'm going to ask the guides who lead us and are there with us every day to calm and clear our nervous system, beginning from the top of the crown, going through the head, clearing our third eye, front and back, and giving your third eye some eyelids there to be able to wash your lenses on their own. Coming through, clearing the throat. And now we're stopping at heart level. Good. And now we're going past the heart, down near the esophaguses, all the way through, down, through our sacral center, through the legs, and down again into the earth. Mother Mary's coming to us. And what she's going to do is open up the crown of your head, and she's going to take out these boxes from your head. And the boxes represent your daily work, kind of occupy your mind. We're going to clear that for today. So Mother Mary, if you would. Now she's going to close the crown. Some of you need some sweeping. She's going to spend some time sweeping in there. And then we're going to go down to the back of the head, and there's this area that we're going to open up what's called the dumpster. Suzanne and I did this a while ago. Open up the dumpster in the back of your head, and let's clear out all those old stories. And I ask Archangel Michael to come in and use his sword and a candle to just place some light in that space. Whew, okay, wow. And now I'd like you to set an intention for today. Ask your heart what intention it would like to light, as if you're lighting a candle in your heart. Wonderful. Now it's your choice if you want to keep your eyes closed to hear the reading with Da Vinci, or open your eyes. But I'm going to begin reading the conversation that we had together. As I drift into the Chopra daily meditation, my inner vision opens onto the front yard of Gentlewood. I hurry down the path, open the driftwood gate, and rush into the arms of Leonardo da Vinci in the Circle Garden. No guide has welcomed me as warmly as Leonardo. He is a favorite of mine. His embrace heartens me as we sway and hug, my nose tickled by some sawdust in his long gray hair. Sally: you smell like you spent all day in an old musty painter's room. Leonardo: even after all these years? Wonderful. Please sit down. Quick, I have a present for you. I sit on the wooden glider. The top lattice reads, "Rest and be thankful," in hand-painted lettering. He holds a small treat in his hands, knuckles gnarled with age. I've become a child and tap into a 5-year-old boy, mouth open, and he joins me on the bench to watch. The butterfly alights on one of my favorite bushes. Its leaves a mix of bright yellow on top and green below. No nectar. It flits over to an iris, barely open. It feeds in a flash and up again, out to a butterfly bush. Leonardo: you call that a butterfly bush, do you not? Ha! Hard to predict where she'll go next. Leonardo lifts up, the carriage sways, and I watch the butterfly dance out of view. When I return to the garden, he is beside a standing dry erase board. Professor Da Vinci is ready. Leonardo: these boards are just marvelous. Okay, time to begin. He knocks the board with his knuckles twice for good measure. What do you think of when you see a butterfly? Sally: beauty, lightness, strength in the wings, lightness of being. Leonardo: yes, good. What are butterfly wings made of? I draw a blank. Leonardo: consult your magic screen. I reach my right hand out and my old iPad appears. Butterfly wings are made up of thin layers of proteins supported by tubular veins that allow oxygen exchange. The wings are covered by an intricate system of tiny scales, giving them colors and patterns. Leonardo writes on the board: proteins, veins, scales, And in the upper left corner, he writes a capital FB and draws a circle around it. This is my symbol for feedback loop. Leonardo. Thus far, Madame Butterfly sounds a lot like you. She has protein, you have flesh. She has veins, you have veins. She has scales, you have skin. She can fly. Your arms may not fly, but they can play on a major board. And many arms can build a contraption even she would marvel at. There's a sensory drive directing her to where she needs to feed, sleep, mate. Her path may seem illogical to us, but it isn't to her. She has a drive. Humans have a drive. Let's call it impulse. There is a lecture on wisdom. This is a lecture on wisdom, so I will try to be wise with my words. You seek wisdom, yes? Sally, yes. Leonardo looking at the board with a dry erase marker in his hand. And how do you know where to go to get it? Sally, well, that depends on whether I'm seeking something simple, like I could get from my surroundings or my memory, or it's like something more profound, like I'm researching, or I need to consult someone, or my magic board, or I meditate. I rest into it, into my heart. Leonardo, we've reached the honey. Do you know what my greatest source of wisdom is? Sally, Mother Nature, form, structure? Yes. And how do I know where to look? I pause. His questions are more rapid, and I want to be respectful of someone as intelligent as Leonardo. Leonardo, poppycock. My mind isn't any more developed than yours. I knew where to look because of impulse, a drive to discover. You know what I'm talking about because you have it too in spades. Leonardo begins to pace back and forth in front of the dry erase board, hands behind his back. How do the humors work in the body? I could only refine that by dissecting bodies in a graveyard and beholding the intricate anatomy of the human instrument. My dear, we do not seek wisdom out there. We follow the impulse in here. He places his hands over his heart. So we may draw them into here. He draws his hands over his arms and up through his body. There's an addiction in your world, a great search going on in those tablets and boxes of yours. And all the while, you simply must sit and be still and observe. You see, the seed of wisdom is in the heart, always here. The fun begins when you stoke it and you are forever trying to keep up with its longings. That is my befundlement. If you rely on your mind instead of being an astute observer of your own heart, you will forever be in search of breadcrumbs, starving. Be a mistress to your heart and feel her, bend to her. The heart is the seat of wisdom. Movement is from the ground up, as nature shows us, not the head down. When you say, your heart holds the keys to your desire, your truth, etc., truth represents unlocking the wisdom that lies within. Then practice with the gifts God gave you. Become an engineer of your work. Fail and fail again, being sure to observe and not take in. This is where your feedback loop, as you call it, becomes so very critical. Feel the impulse. Follow the desire. She is your muse. Remember, wisdom is an energy. It is not a destination. DaVinci begins fingering the board. Protein, oxygen, scales. Flesh, oxygen, skin. Structure, support, protection. Structure, support, protection.